They're trying to silence the most explosive interview that's ever happened in WWE's corporate headquarters. CM Punk just sat down with Adam Pearce for what was supposed to be a standard promotional interview, and instead delivered a nuclear bomb that has WWE executives scrambling to do damage control. What CM Punk revealed about his upcoming match with Seth Rollins in Chicago isn't just trash talk, it's a declaration of war against everything WWE has tried to sweep under the rug. And the corporate suits are terrified because they know Punk has the receipts to back up every single word he said. Right now, WWE's legal team is working overtime trying to figure out how much of this interview they can actually air without facing massive lawsuits from their own talent. Because what Punk revealed about Seth Rollins, about WWE's backstage politics, and about what he's planning to do in his hometown is going to destroy careers and expose years of corporate lies. Adam Pearce thought he was conducting a routine interview to build hype for their Chicago Showdown. Instead, he got a front row seat to CM Punk completely eviscerating the company that tried to erase him from history. And Seth Rollins? That corporate kiss-ass who has spent years positioning himself as WWE's golden boy while stabbing his colleagues in the back? He's about to get exposed in the most humiliating way possible in front of his enemy's hometown crowd. But here's what makes this situation absolutely explosive. Here's what has WWE executives losing sleep at night. CM Punk didn't just promise to beat Seth Rollins in Chicago. He promised to reveal everything that Seth Rollins has done behind the scenes to sabotage other wrestlers' careers. The leaked audio from this interview, and yes, there is leaked audio that WWE is desperately trying to suppress, contains CM Punk making specific accusations about Seth Rollins' backstage behavior that would end his career if they became public knowledge. We're talking about documented instances of Seth Rollins deliberately sabotaging storylines for wrestlers he viewed as threats. We're talking about him lobbying management to bury talent who were getting more fan reactions than he was. We're talking about a systematic campaign to position himself as WWE's top star by destroying everyone around him. And CM Punk has the evidence to prove all of it. During this interview with Adam Pearce, CM Punk laid out chapter and verse of Seth Rollins' backstage politics over the past decade. He named specific instances where Rollins went to management to complain about other wrestlers getting too much spotlight. He detailed conversations where Rollins actively campaigned against pushes for talent he considered competition. But that's just the beginning of what Punk revealed. The most damaging information isn't about Seth Rollins' petty backstage politics, it's about his role in the systematic campaign to keep CM Punk out of WWE for nearly a decade. According to Punk's explosive revelations, Seth Rollins was one of the loudest voices advocating against Punk's return to the company. While fans were begging for CM Punk's comeback, while the wrestling world was wondering why WWE wouldn't bring back one of their biggest stars, Seth Rollins was working behind the scenes to make sure it never happened. Every time CM Punk's name came up in creative meetings, Seth Rollins was there to remind management about locker room concerns and potential disruptions to company culture. Every time there was discussion about reaching out to Punk for a possible return, Rollins was there to poison the well with exaggerated stories and manufactured drama. And why? Because Seth Rollins knew that CM Punk's return would expose him as the manufactured main eventer he's always been. He knew that when real talent walked back into that locker room, everyone would see the massive gap between authentic superstars and corporate created characters. The interview footage shows CM Punk getting more and more heated as he details Seth Rollins' behind-the-scenes campaign against him. Adam Pearce can barely get a word in as Punk unleashes years of pent-up frustration about how Rollins actively worked to keep him exiled from the company he helped build. But here's where it gets really interesting. Here's where CM Punk's promises about Chicago turn from mere trash talk into legitimate threats that have WWE management genuinely concerned about what might happen during their match. CM Punk didn't just promise to beat Seth Rollins in Chicago. He promised to use that platform, in front of his hometown crowd, with the eyes of the wrestling world watching, to expose everything he knows about Seth Rollins' backstage behavior. We're talking about a live television event where CM Punk could potentially reveal information that would destroy Seth Rollins' carefully constructed image as WWE's loyal company man. Information that would prove he's actually been one of the most selfish and destructive influences in the company for years. The leaked portions of the interview show Punk getting increasingly aggressive as he talks about what he has planned for Chicago. He's not just talking about winning a wrestling match, he's talking about using that match as a vehicle to expose years of corporate corruption and backstage manipulation. And Adam Pearce? He's clearly uncomfortable with the direction this interview is taking. You can see him trying to steer the conversation back to safer territory, trying to get Punk to focus on standard promotional talking points instead of these explosive revelations about Seth Rollins and WWE's backstage politics. But CM Punk is done playing corporate games. He's done pretending that professional wrestling is just entertainment when it's actually a cutthroat business where talented performers get destroyed by political maneuvering and backstage sabotage. The most damaging revelation from this interview isn't even about Seth Rollins directly, it's about how WWE's entire main event scene has been artificially constructed to benefit a select few performers while systematically excluding anyone who might threaten their positions. According to CM Punk's explosive claims, there's been a coordinated effort among WWE's chosen ones to maintain their spots at the top of the card by sabotaging potential competition before it can develop. Seth Rollins hasn't just been a beneficiary of this system, he's been one of its primary architects. The specific examples that Punk detailed during this interview paint a picture of systematic career destruction that goes far beyond normal competitive behavior among wrestlers. We're talking about deliberate campaigns to destroy storylines, ruin pushes, and eliminate threats to the established hierarchy. And Seth Rollins, WWE's supposed locker room leader and company man, has been at the center of these campaigns. The audio reveals CM Punk getting so worked up about these revelations that Adam Pearce actually had to take a break from filming. The level of anger and frustration in Punk's voice as he details years of Seth Rollins' backstage manipulation is absolutely palpable. But here's what makes this situation even more explosive: CM Punk isn't just making these accusations based on second-hand information or rumors. He has documentation of Seth Rollins' backstage behavior. Text messages, email exchanges, recorded conversations that prove his role in sabotaging other wrestlers' careers. During the interview, Punk actually showed Adam Pearce some of this evidence. The leaked footage shows Pearce's reaction as he reads through documents that apparently contain proof of Seth Rollins' systematic campaign against multiple wrestlers over the years. And Pearce's reaction says everything. The shock on his face, the way he immediately starts asking questions about where this information came from, the obvious concern about the legal and professional implications of what he's seeing. This isn't just a wrestler making wild accusations during a heated promotional interview. This is someone presenting evidence of systematic misconduct that could have serious consequences for everyone involved. The most shocking revelation from this interview is CM Punk's claim that Seth Rollins has been keeping a blacklist of wrestlers he considers threats to his position, a literal list of talent that he actively campaigns against in creative meetings and backstage discussions. According to Punk's explosive allegations, this blacklist includes some of the most talented and popular wrestlers in WWE today, performers who should be in main event positions but have been systematically held back because Seth Rollins viewed them as competition for his spot at the top of the card. The leaked audio contains CM Punk reading from what he claims are actual notes taken during creative meetings where Seth Rollins argued against pushes for specific wrestlers. Direct quotes where Rollins questioned other performers' commitment to the company or their ability to represent WWE properly. And in every case, according to Punk's documentation, these concerns were raised about wrestlers who were getting significant fan reactions or showing potential to break into the main event scene. It's a pattern of systematic gatekeeping designed to protect Seth Rollins' position at the expense of more deserving talent. And CM Punk has the receipts to prove it. But the most damaging information revealed during this interview concerns Seth Rollins' role in a specific incident that nearly ended another wrestler's career. Without naming names, because the legal implications would be massive, CM Punk detailed how Rollins actively sabotaged a major storyline because he was jealous of the fan reactions another performer was getting. The audio shows CM Punk getting increasingly emotional as he describes watching a talented wrestler's career get derailed because Seth Rollins couldn't handle someone else getting more attention than he was receiving. And this wasn't just passive jealousy or competitive behavior. According to Punk's allegations, this was active sabotage that included going to management with fabricated complaints and manufactured incidents designed to make the other wrestler look unprofessional. Adam Pearce's reaction to this revelation is telling. The way he immediately starts asking about legal protections and whether this information should be going on record shows that he understands the serious implications of what CM Punk is alleging. But CM Punk doesn't care about legal protections or corporate damage control. He's been building this case against Seth Rollins for years, and he's planning to use their Chicago match as the platform to expose everything he's discovered. The interview contains CM Punk making very specific promises about what he's going to do to Seth Rollins during their match. And these aren't typical wrestling threats about physical dominance, these are promises to humiliate Rollins in ways that will destroy his credibility with fans and colleagues alike. CM Punk promises to make Seth Rollins face the consequences of every career he's destroyed and every dream he's crushed through his backstage manipulation. He promises to expose the coward hiding behind the company man facade. He promises to show Chicago and the world what Seth Rollins really is when he can't hide behind corporate protection. The level of personal animosity in CM Punk's voice during these segments is unprecedented. This isn't just competitive trash talk between wrestling opponents, this is someone who genuinely believes that Seth Rollins has been a destructive force in professional wrestling and is planning to use their match to settle scores that go far beyond typical storyline conflicts. And the Chicago setting makes this situation even more volatile. CM Punk in his hometown, with a crowd that will be 100% behind him, having the platform to expose information that could destroy Seth Rollins' career and reputation. WWE management is reportedly in panic mode about what might happen during this match. They've apparently had multiple emergency meetings about how to handle the situation if CM Punk goes off script and starts revealing the information he detailed during this interview. The corporate damage control efforts have been unprecedented. Multiple wrestlers have reportedly been contacted by WWE legal representatives and warned about discussing anything related to CM Punk's allegations. Several backstage employees have been reminded about their non-disclosure agreements and the serious consequences of leaking information to the press, but it might be too late for damage control. The interview footage that has leaked so far is just the tip of the iceberg compared to what CM Punk apparently revealed during the full recording session. Sources close to the situation report that the complete interview contains hours of CM Punk detailing specific incidents of Seth Rollins' backstage manipulation, names, dates, specific conversations, and documented evidence of systematic career sabotage that goes back nearly a decade. And all of this information is building towards CM Punk's promise to expose everything during their Chicago match. He's essentially given Seth Rollins an ultimatum: either confess to his backstage behavior and make amends to the wrestlers he sabotaged, or face public humiliation on live television. The leaked audio contains CM Punk explicitly stating that he's done protecting people who don't deserve protection and that he's ready to burn down the entire system if that's what it takes to get justice for the wrestlers whose careers Seth Rollins has destroyed. Adam Pearce's attempts to calm the situation and redirect the conversation are completely unsuccessful. CM Punk is operating on a level of anger and determination that suggests he's been planning this confrontation for years. The most chilling moment in the leaked footage comes when CM Punk looks directly into the camera and addresses Seth Rollins personally. The threat isn't physical, it's much more devastating than that. It's the promise to systematically destroy Rollins' reputation and credibility using the same tactics that Rollins allegedly used against other wrestlers. "Seth, you spent years working behind the scenes to destroy careers and sabotage dreams," CM Punk says with cold fury. "Now I'm going to use Chicago as my platform to return that favor. Every lie you told about other wrestlers, every career you sabotaged, every dream you crushed, it's all going to come out under those lights in front of my people." The silence that follows this statement is deafening. Adam Pearce literally doesn't know how to respond to such a direct and devastating threat. You can see him calculating the legal and professional implications of what he's just heard. But CM Punk isn't done. The leaked footage shows him continuing with even more specific threats about what he has planned for Seth Rollins during their Chicago encounter. "I've been documenting your backstage behavior for years, Seth. I have text messages where you lob it against other wrestlers getting opportunities. I have recorded conversations where you spread lies about talent you viewed as competition. I have email chains where you actively campaigned to sabotage storylines that didn't center around you." The level of detail in these accusations is what makes them so credible and so dangerous. CM Punk isn't making vague allegations, he's making specific claims backed by what he says is documented evidence. And the way Adam Pearce reacts to each new revelation suggests that he's hearing information that could have serious consequences for Seth Rollins and possibly other wrestlers who were involved in these alleged campaigns. The interview takes another explosive turn when CM Punk reveals that Seth Rollins' backstage manipulation isn't limited to just sabotaging individual wrestlers. According to Punk's allegations, Rollins has been instrumental in maintaining a toxic locker room culture that protects a select few performers while systematically excluding anyone who might threaten the established hierarchy. The leaked audio contains CM Punk describing a good old boys club within WWE's main event scene, with Seth Rollins as one of its primary enforcers. This isn't just about individual career sabotage, it's about systematic exclusion designed to maintain power structures that benefit only a chosen few. And CM Punk has the evidence to prove these systematic patterns of discrimination and retaliation. The documentation that CM Punk showed to Adam Pearce reportedly includes proof that multiple wrestlers have been held back or pushed aside specifically because they were viewed as threats to the established main event hierarchy. And Seth Rollins has been a central figure in identifying these threats and coordinating efforts to neutralize them. But perhaps the most devastating revelation from this interview concerns Seth Rollins' role in specific incidents that drove talented wrestlers away from WWE entirely. According to CM Punk's allegations, there are multiple cases where Rollins' backstage manipulation contributed directly to wrestlers leaving the company. The leaked footage shows CM Punk getting emotional as he describes watching talented performers get so frustrated with the systematic sabotage they faced that they chose to leave WWE rather than continue fighting against an impossible system. And in each case, according to Punk's documentation, Seth Rollins was instrumental in creating the toxic environment that drove these wrestlers away. The interview contains CM Punk making very specific promises about exposing these patterns during their Chicago match. He's not just threatening to embarrass Seth Rollins, he's threatening to use their match as a platform to expose systematic problems within WWE's corporate culture. Chicago is going to see the real Seth Rollins, CM Punk promises with obvious conviction, not the company man character he plays on television. The backstage politician who has spent years destroying careers to protect his own position. The systematic saboteur who has kept talented wrestlers from reaching their potential because he was afraid of the competition. The way Adam Pearce reacts to this promise suggests that he understands the serious implications of what CM Punk is threatening to do. This isn't just about one match or one storyline, it's about potentially exposing systematic problems that could have consequences throughout the entire company. But the most shocking moment in the leaked footage comes when CM Punk reveals that he has allies within WWE's current roster who have been helping him document Seth Rollins' backstage behavior. Multiple current wrestlers have apparently been sharing information with CM Punk about ongoing incidents of manipulation and sabotage. This means the evidence against Seth Rollins isn't just historical, it includes current examples of systematic career sabotage that could have immediate consequences for active wrestlers. The leaked audio contains CM Punk mentioning multiple current roster members who have experienced Seth Rollins' backstage manipulation firsthand and are prepared to support Punk's allegations with their own testimony and documentation. Adam Pearce's reaction to this revelation shows genuine concern about the potential scope of what CM Punk is alleging. The idea that multiple current wrestlers might be involved in exposing systematic backstage misconduct has obvious implications that go far beyond just CM Punk and Seth Rollins. But CM Punk makes it clear that he's not just threatening to expose this information, he's promising to us,